Under investigation, an explosive fire under intense scrutiny.
And in sports, the Leafs complete a front office shuffle.
Now, the MCTV News Late Edition.
Good evening. About this time last night, a fire had started inside a car in the valley. It turned into a blaze that got a lot of attention, eventually drawing neighbors, fire crews, and ultimately police. Here's MCTV's Alan Black.
This is all that's left of a car destroyed outside a Valley East residence Tuesday night.
I was sitting on the couch watching TV. It was about 11:30. He was asleep and heard an explosion. The whole room lit up. I grabbed the phone. My girlfriend was sleeping, so I screamed to her in the bedroom, dial 911.
What neighbors and arriving fire crews saw was a car engulfed in flames. 2 people in the home at the time were not injured. The investigation that followed revealed arson as a cause of the blaze.
There are some foreign containers to the area that indicate that gasoline itself has been used as part of the fire.
Pieces of metal were found all over the neighborhood and marked by pylons. There are indications that a pipe bomb may have been involved. Police haven't confirmed that, but haven't ruled it out either. RCMP post-blast investigators have been called in from Ottawa to assist in the investigation. Neighbors, meantime, hope they won't be seeing or hearing anything like this again.
Well, it's scary. You got kids, quite a few kids around the area, and when there's rumors talking about bombs and this and that, there's a scary situation for sure.
Alan Black, MCTV News, Valley East.
Police say tonight that a fire that started burning about the same time in a tanning salon on Lasalle Boulevard is an act of arson. Fire crews were called to the scene just before midnight. There weren't a lot of flames, but there was a lot of smoke and what sounded like a small explosion. Firefighters think that could have been the result of pressure buildup from the fire. Fire damage was confined to the front part of the building, although there was extensive smoke and water damage throughout. The smell of smoke was heavy inside an adjoining real estate office that occupies the rest of the building. And further east, flames swept a landmark hotel in Mattawa. The smoke so intense and the fire so bright it could be seen 25 kilometers away. The century-old Trans-Canada Hotel went up in smoke last night, the fire first being reported around 8 in the evening, the remains still smoldering today. The building housed a bar, restaurant, and a bed and breakfast. No cause has been identified for that fire. The coroner's office is calling an inquest into the shooting death of a Verner man by police. The story started last August 23rd when the OPP were called to a domestic dispute at a Verner home. They found themselves face-to-face with a man brandishing a handgun. In the end, Bruno Turpin was shot and killed by police. Although the Special Investigations Unit found no criminal conduct on the part of the officers involved, the regional coroner is now planning an inquest beginning November 17th in Sudbury. In an effort to stem grisly rumors about the killing of a North Bay woman, police released some details about her death today. A member of her own family found the body of 20-year-old Sarah Whitehead along a wooded trail August 8th. Police said today she died of asphyxiation and that she likely struggled with her attacker before her death. No arrests have been made in the case. Tom Davies has spent the past 16 years as chairman of the region of Sudbury, but he has decided it is time to step down. Quite simply, he is very sick. Davies has just learned he has a terminal illness, and he's decided it's important to spend more time with his family now. Today, he sat down with MCTV's Sandra Blakey to talk about his decision and to reflect.
Well, it's generally due to health reasons. I didn't particularly like the results also, but I've learned to live with that, and I thought it would be only fair to announce as soon as possible that I'd have to step down in the next year anyway, and with the election coming up, I thought it'd be fair as soon as possible to get that message across to the council.
And you're going to focus now more on personal, family?
Personal and family. It's time, yes, after 25 years. They've been so supportive. My family has been fantastic, the outer family and the rest of it. They've been so supportive in this. But I found that with just about everybody. Everybody I've worked with, all the councils and the rest of it, they all got that basic thing. They want to do the best job possible for the people of Sudbury. The people of Sudbury, are fantastic. You get them stirred up sometimes and they can do anything. I look at Sudbury especially as being, you know, so vibrant in that we really don't understand ourselves, Northern Ontario. We're such a powerhouse. You know, we've got 800 and some thousand people. When you look at Sudbury, for an example, itself in the Sudbury region, we got 160,000 population. Go to Prince Edward Island, they're about 135,000. They got about 4 senators come from that place. There is going to be potential in things we don't even know exist yet. I see it more in things like the Neutrino Observatory, in the health field, in the new and exciting research projects that are underway, things we never ever dreamt that Sudbury and the region would be involved in that. The diversification that we started in 1980 when everybody in Canada had written us off, that has a lot to do with the energy that was put in by everybody. It was a team effort. No individual group can take credit for it. Everybody got behind it.
You know, an awful lot of people in this region, politicians and observers and historians, would tell you, yeah, there is one individual. Tom Davies is the one who spearheaded this. No, seriously, this is what consistently comes up if you call around to get people's commentary about you. That's what they say, is he turned this region around.
Senator, was just, I just happened to be there in the position where you took on that responsibility. That was your responsibility. There was no magic to the formula. All it was getting people together. You'd be surprised the energy and the force that the general public has when they decide that they're going to they've got a common enemy. In this case, it was the economy. And they want to put their shoulder to the wheel, what can be accomplished. So I plead out there for the general public to get involved with decisions that are going to be meaningful to your family and your lifestyle and that. Be involved with these decisions. Get more involved with your neighborhoods and the rest of it. I'll never forget the turnaround, the transformation of Sudbury. I think, as we talked about before, that sitting in Rio de Janeiro at the Earth Summit, a little guy from Creighton Mine, kid born, raised here in Sudbury, to be sitting there and called up on the stage to get the World Award for the environmental changes that we have made here in Sudbury and being recognized by the press and that all over Europe and, you know, Asia and the rest of it, and being congratulated in front of the UN was really one of the high points. And so I appreciate that sort of thing. And that type of cooperation I've had for 25 years is phenomenal. It's a surprise to me. It's a very humbling experience. You know, I consider myself the luckiest guy in this world, really, when I look at this and say, man, you know, what a life I've had to be involved and have that type of support and that, love it.
And our thanks to Tom Davies for sitting down to talk with us today, and our thoughts are with him. As the Falconbridge Strike heads towards the end of its third week, mine mill members met today to find out that not much has changed, but that there's still some talking going on between the two sides. Here's Derek Rogers.
Members of Mine Mill CAW Local 598 emerged from an information session, and it was clear that little had really changed. No formal talks are planned between Falconbridge and its striking workers, but the door isn't completely closed. Union head Rolly Gauthier says the two sides are engaged in what he calls probing talks to see if there's enough movement to return to the bargaining table.
We're hopeful. We think there's indications there that there's enough movement for us to meet with the company, and they'll have to determine whether they feel comfortable enough to get into full-scale bargaining.
Gauthier won't say in what areas there's movement, but he denies that this labor dispute is all about trying to break out of the Inco pattern, where Falconbridge employees receive much the same deal as Inco workers.
It's very little to do with breaking their pattern. It has everything to do with a profitable company and the workers being able to share in those profits.
Members of the rank and file seem grimly determined to stick it out as long as they can. They say at this point they're not yet feeling the financial sting of being on strike for 3 weeks now.
Not yet. I'm still got a few things going, so I'm still ahead of the game, but put it this way, we got it. Sometimes you got to lose the game.
If things getting tight for me, it'll get tighter for them.
It's up to the bargaining committee to decide just how long these so-called probing talks will continue. Derek Rogers, MCTV News, Sudbury.
Healthy children and healthy families make for healthy communities. That belief is part of the reason the Sudbury Group is a finalist for Ontario's Caring Communities Award. The organization is Brighter Futures. Its members have developed partnerships to help make the Sudbury region a healthy place to live. More than 700 families are now part of Brighter Futures, and that's what's earned the nomination for the Trillium Foundation Award. And that is news to this point. Terry's here tonight. What's up?
We'll talk a little hockey. The Chris Grattan affair is finalized, and it took him a little bit of work to get this done because after he was secured by the Flyers and Tampa made a trade so that one member of the Legion of Doom, Michael Renberg, and Carl Dykos, the defenseman, is going to go to Tampa Bay. They get Grattan. We'll explain it all later.
All right.
Plus the Leafs, Ken Dryden.
I support Ken Dryden wholeheartedly.
I like Ken. He was here.
He's all right.
He's my hero.
They won't let us say how much we like him. They're rushing us along.
Those
Here
guys
now
in the
is a
back.
look at the day's closing markets.
Lady Luck is flying on the wind. Now it's time, let the games begin. A great deal of fun over and over again. Oh, it just might be your day, so come on out and play. Hi, this is Kenny Rogers, and you can bet that Kuwait is where the real action is.
Imagine life without glasses. Call Dr. Curtis Sorgini for a free consultation at 1-888-SO-CLEAR and see life at its best.
At Sudbury Appliances and Furniture Unlimited, all their general electric appliances are on sale. GE fridges, stoves, washers, dryers, and dishwashers. GE built-in ovens, cooktops, and gas stoves. A McClary heavy-duty deluxe dryer is only $299. Sudbury Appliances, Furniture Unlimited, and General Electric Appliances. 685 Notre Dame Sudbury and downtown New Liskeard, home of the Notre Dame boys.
The all-new, all-affordable, all-updated 98 Altima is making its debut at Northern Nissan. The 98 Altima GXE can be yours for an astonishing $22,398. That's $2,100 cheaper than the 97 models. It's what? You heard correctly. The all-new 98 Altima GXE is $2,100 less than last year's model. The auto manufacturers have got it right, and Northern Nissan wants you to enjoy the ride. The dealer that believes in the customer, Northern Nissan, 400 Falconbridge Road. The late edition weather is brought to you by Carrier and Charbonneau Home Heating, your indoor weather specialists.
Well, the satellite shot tells the story. See all that? That is the most active weather that we have seen in a while, and I'll tell you all about it as we move along, because there's a fair amount to tell you about. First of all, temperatures tonight are still going to drop a few more degrees, but not nearly so far down as they have most of this week. We're finally looking at a seasonal overnight low in Sudbury Nickel Belt of about 13 degrees. It's 16 right now here. That's the same temperature at North Bay as well. Perry Sound is at 13, Gore Bay and Elliott Lake at 14, the Sioux at 13, as is Wawa. So temperatures generally quite similar under the influence of this big mass of low pressure. 15 at Timmins right now, 11 at Cap End, 12 at Rouyn-Noranda. Everybody down by and large a few more degrees. Some of the places like the Sioux and different places are as low as they're going to go tonight. Here is the story. This big, huge thing of low pressure that is really slow moving and is basically going to trundle across the center of it, Georgian Bay. So Perry Sound and the southern parts of the northeast, if you will, you know, Point of Barrel, Britt, Sudbury, places like that, could see the potential for 20 to 40 millimeters of rain in the next 24 to 36 hours. Going to be really windy too, about 30 clicks tonight, up a little higher tomorrow, shifting from easterly tonight to the northeast tomorrow. Winds as well for Manitoulin Island, and again a fair amount of rain there as well. Now as we look at the system's map, you see that the low, it appears to have moved off and we're left sort of with the remnants, but that's really sort of an overview of the day tomorrow. It's going to be very slow moving, and for Sudbury Nickel Belt, periods of rain heavy at times. So we're looking at, if the forecast is correct, a whole lot of rain coming down, as I say, into tomorrow and into Friday, and even to some degree on Saturday as well. Overnight low, a seasonal 13 degrees for Sudbury and for North Bay, and for Elliott Lake. Gore Bay just a bit warmer at 14. Everybody up to about 17 or 18 degrees tomorrow. Now, Sault Ste. Marie pretty much similar, 13 and 18s. Timmins and Cap down to 11, up to 17 tomorrow. Parry Sound to 14 and up to 16. So as you can see, the overnight lows have improved, but the daytime highs have basically collapsed. Here's your look at your 4-day. Periods of rain, heavy at times tomorrow at 17, 17 holding through Friday when we're just looking at periods of rain, so not quite as intense as the day before. Saturday, we're starting to see a slow improvement. 20 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, however, with scattered showers. And then Sunday, a very nice day. The seasonal high is 22. We're looking for 21 and mostly sunny skies. That is our look at an active weather day tomorrow. Here's Terry now with sports.
Thank you, Scott. One of two Sudbury golfers has made it through the first 2 rounds of the Canadian Amateur Championship on Prince Edward Island. 136 golfers started the tourney. The top 64 qualify for the match play portion starting tomorrow. Leading the pack is a fellow named Robert Kerr of Quebec at 2 under par. He was the only golfer in red figures. Lively's Kurt Kowalik easily made the cut with back-to-back 74s to finish in sole possession of 8th place at 4 over par. Jason Aucoin of Cedar Green did much better today, shooting a 78, but his 86 in round 1 meant an early exit. He finished in a tie for 90th. It is a long haul to the championship. 18 holes of match play tomorrow and 36 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to determine the overall winner. 7 runners crossed the finish line ahead of Sudbury sprinter Rob Esme today in a 100-meter race in Sweden. The winning time wasn't all that fast either, 10.12, run by American Tim Montgomery. Esme pulled out of the 200-meter race. At the other track tonight, Sudbury Downs, Jerry Belanger drove Humming Wind to victory in the 6th race. Brent Powell with the call.
At the rail, Humming Wind waits for an opening. Peculiar Storm is 3 deep, flying up. Morris Katz in the center. Bounty Search in behind a wall, looks to get out. They turn home, and Humming Wind has found the opening, and Humming Wind takes over the lead. It's Humming Wind. Here's Bounty Search, but Humming Wind's going to get it all. Mile, 2 minutes, refills.
Up next on your Major League Report, the Jays take a licking in Chicago from the White Sox. We'll have the gory details coming up next. And your trivia challenge. We want to know what the Jays' lowest single-season winning percentage is.
For those of you who waited for the 97 Mazda clear-out, here's an important word. Now! It's here, the 97 clear-out. Get the roomy Mazda Protege from just $179, or the 626 family sedan for just $279 a month, or a rugged V-Series truck for only $179. Or finance these outstanding Mazdas at a remarkable 3.9. So when should folks go to their Mazda dealers?
Now.
Thank you.
The road of a world champion has taken me many places. Over 23 countries, on over 300 different flights, staying in hundreds of hotels, and not to mention taking thousands of taxi cabs. But whether I'm competing halfway around the world or right at home, there are 2 things I'm never without: my skates and my MasterCard.
No matter what road you travel, make sure you carry MasterCard. Your card for greater access today and in the future.
Do you have any furniture that you would call ugly?
Well, sort of.
You do what down in the basement?
Yeah, exercising.
What is the chair behind you?
That is for me to sit down if I'm tired.
It's a little ragged though, huh?
Right, yeah.
Did a dog bite it or something? Or?
Oh, no.
You should replace it maybe, huh?
Maybe.
Leon's, 353,279 ways to keep Canada beautiful. And the Don't Pay a Cent event is on now. Leon's, the superstore.
It's on right now. House of Broadway's Summer Rug Riot 97. 10 days of incredible savings on all your floor covering needs. Safari Berber was $20, now $8.99 per yard. Mannington Gold was $55, now $28.99 per yard. Pay no PSP or GST on all roll ends and area rugs. Ceramic tiles 60% off at $1.99 a foot. Bring in room measurements. Take advantage of these low prices. Make no payments. Pay no interest till 98. Summer Rug Riot 1997 till August 30th at House of Broadway.
And now, the Professional Sports Scoop, brought to you by the Days Inn Sudbury, the best value under the sun. Ask about their frequent stay program.
Even the most die-hard Blue Jays fan would have had a tough time tuning into tonight's blowout in Chicago for its entirety. Not only are the Jays out of it for the season, they're not even doing a very good job of playing spoiler these days. The White Sox are a long shot too, but they may have picked up some confidence tonight. First inning, Robin Ventura drops one at the feet of Sean Green. Frank Thomas appeared to be in no hurry to get home, but still eluded the tag of Benito Santiago. 1-0. 2 innings later, Albert Bell lines to left. Jose Cruz loses it in the lights. The ball goes to the fence and scores Dave Martinez, and the White Sox are sitting on an early 2-0 cushion. Same inning, a pass ball coming up here by Santiago allows Albert Bell to get the third. Then he came around to score on Robert Person's wild pitch, make it 3-0 Chicago. The White Sox then scored 7 in the 4th inning. They loaded the bases on a single by Aze Guillen, walks to Ray Durham and Thomas. Bell doubled into the right field gap to go ahead 5-1. Ventura was intentionally walked. Mike Cameron hit an RBI single. Bell went on to hit his 24th homer of the season with 1 out in the 5th, a 2-run shot. Altogether, Albert Bell homered, doubled twice, and matched his season high with 5 RBIs. And the White Sox crushed the Jays tonight, 12-6, your final score. The trivia challenge of the night wanted to know the Jays' lowest single-season winning percentage. The answer was C, 327. It happened back in 1979, their 3rd year in the majors. 53 wins and 109 losses for a 327 winning percentage. They're above that this year. Baltimore beat Kansas City 4-2. Rafael Palmeiro was 4 for 4, driving in all 4 runs with 2 homers. It'll be a late night for the Yankees in California. They're into a doubleheader with the Angels, and they still haven't finished the first one. A twin spin in Oakland, where the A's and Red Sox are playing a pair. The Red Sox took the opener 7-5, and the Athletics are leading the nightcap 4-1. That's just in the 4th inning of play. Milwaukee scored a 6-2 win over Texas. The Twins creamed Detroit 11-1, ending a 10-game losing skid. In Montreal, Cards manager Tony La Russa hoping to get to cruise through another blowout like the one St. Louis scored last night. A great game from Pedro Martinez, though, struck out 13 over 6 2/3, including 7 in a row at one point. Montreal took a 1-0 lead on a bases-loaded walk here in the 6th, but believe it or not, St. Louis stormed back and scored a 6-3 win. Brian Jordan's run-scoring double broke a tie in the 8th inning. The Expos have lost 7 of 8. Around the National League, Atlanta over Houston 3-1. Tom Glavine won for the first time in 6 starts. The Dodgers and Mets rained out of Shea. The Mets were leading 6-5 in the 3rd. They'll start all over and play a doubleheader tomorrow. Same story in Philadelphia, where the Phillies and Giants had to call it quits. Florida nipped the Cubs 6-5 in Miami. Pittsburgh won their 3rd in a row, 7-3 over the Padres, while in Colorado, Larry Walker with an amazing over-the-wall grab to steal a homer away from Cincinnati as the Rockies win 5-3. In hockey, there was one last twist brought to the Chris Gratton story today. The former Lightning forward became official property of the Flyers this afternoon when Tampa Bay decided not to match the offer Philadelphia made, $16.5 million over 5 years. Tampa got 4 draft picks as compensation, but they immediately traded those back to the Flyers in exchange for Michael Renberg and Carl Dykhouse. Tampa would have rather kept things the way they were, so Coach Crisp was busy putting a positive spin on things today.
We are not going down the tube. We will miss Chris. We will pull up our socks and we'll be competitive and give you what you have to have. So before we all go gloom and doom and want to slash our wrists, let's realize that we still have, last time I looked though, you still got Zomner, you still got Weimer, you still got Lankow, you still got Hammerlich, you still got Corey Cross, you still have Darren Pupa?
Yes.
You bet. We still got a hockey club, people. And believe me, your hockey club will show up next year and do something for you on the ice.
Most everyone who was in the Leafs front office yesterday is still there today, although some will need new business cards, starting at the top with President Ken Dryden, who now fills the GM role as well. More from Sunil Joshi.
I'm doing it because I want to do the job, because I think I can help make this team better, because it's my job to give shape to this organization and to direct it where it needs to go.
There's a few adjustments that I like to see. There is probably in the specific player development area, I would probably look upon hiring one specific person that I don't know who that might be.
Well, at this stage of the process, I think we all say we like it to work, we'll work hard to make it work, and we'll see.
A team off the ice will lead to success on the ice is the motto of the deep thinkers at 60 Carlton, including the boss, Steve Stavro.
We're happy with it because we've got all young people want to work and build this team. We know we're not going to do it overnight, but they've got a plan. At least we got a plan.
The question is, if the dual portfolio of president and general manager was unacceptable in May when Cliff Fletcher was at the controls, why has ownership changed its thinking? Could it be because qualified candidates rejected the Leafs' offers? While Dryden was searching for management talent, Bill Waters took the responsibility of signing free agents and making trades. The team is virtually set for training camp. So is Mike Smith, the new associate general manager, satisfied with the talent assembled?
For me, it'd be interesting, since I wasn't involved in any of those signings, to see very quickly in training camp, but there's a lot of work to do here.
The new management team claims they can't understand what the big deal is about because former president and general manager Cliff Fletcher also managed by committee. The difference is he had 30 years of experience and the authority to make the final decision. At Maple Leaf Gardens, I'm Sunil Joshi, BBS Sports.
And that is your Major League look at sports. Scott's back with the other side of news.
It's money, your money. And it should be accessible, not out of reach. Whether you want to deposit it, transfer it, pay a bill with it, or just get your hands on it, it should be simple, not frustrating. Introducing TD Access. Faster, easier ways to get exactly what you want. TD, we're here to help make it easier.
The all-new, all-affordable, all-updated 98 Altima is making its debut at Northern Nissan. The 98 Altima GXE can be yours for an astonishing $22,398. That's $2,100 cheaper than the 97 model. It's what? You heard correctly. The all-new 98 Altima GXE is $2,100 less than last year's model. The auto manufacturers have got it right, and Northern Nissan wants you to enjoy the ride. The dealer that believes in the customer, Northern Nissan, 400 Falconbridge Road.
Marco Fashion Shoes invites you to view their fall collection. Shoes, boots, and matching handbags in genuine leather. Choose brand name Gore-Tex quality waterproof boots and shoes in sizes 4 to 16 and widths up to 5E. If your feet ache, see the experts at Marco Fashion Shoes for correct fitting orthopedic footwear. And if you're looking for savings on quality Western boots, right now you can save up to $40. Marco Fashion Shoes in the new Sudbury Center, your fall footwear specialists.
Well, we've all heard of Spam, spiced ham in a can. Many of us have eaten it. Some of us have turned it into a gastronomic delight. Here's Jay Siltzer.
It's a Spam cooking contest.
Made me want to laugh the first time I heard it. It really did. I got some pretty funny looks.
What'd you tell them?
Told them, hey, this contest, if I win, you won't be laughing.
Opening a can of Spam comes easily for these competitive cooks.
It's delightful, and has a good flavor.
Really?
We use it all the time.
Why is it good to cook with?
Well, it's inexpensive, it's easy. You don't have to go out and find special ingredients to put in with it. It goes with about everything.
This is a Spam burger. There you go. That looks pretty good. This is...
Larney remain the quintessential artist muse, and the artists are in the park again. Here's MCTV's Brian Oliver, who just before the supper hour, hard enough and fast enough that it collected on lawns and ditches. Some people near Westmount Avenue say the hail that fell there came down in chunks even bigger than all this stuff.
Ironically, today I was out golfing, and I was hitting golf.
What a mess today. Hydro lines down, trees were toppled. There were even reports of funnel clouds. A thunderstorm dumped 25 centimeters of rain and flooded out parts of the city.
A bit of a mess.
Yeah, they were expecting that Public Works in Hamilton would have been on the job all last night into this morning because it was just out of control.
Still cleaning up today. Wow. So we shouldn't complain about our hail the size of golf balls.
Well,
then.
no, yeah, exactly. Not very likely. The question is, will we
happen over the past 24 hours? And courtesy of On TV, and there you see all the flashes in the sky. In some areas it was severe, heavy downpours and hail. And of course they have problems with the sewer lines, and there were reports of flash flooding in many areas, and they spent the night trying to clean up. Well, it's not so bad in Ontario right now. It's much clearer, much more pleasant, and the same for northeastern Ontario. With all the details, we now go to Colette.
Personnel. Tonight, in the black, the Regional Hospital Corporation balances its budget and keeps workers on the job for now.
Signing in sorrow, Sudburyans join mourners around the world in their condolences to Princess Diana.
I really feel for her children.
And our top story, truck stopped. A train crash near Chelmsford takes this 18-wheeler for a ride.
Now, the MCTV News Evening Edition with Peter Williams and Michelle Donner.
Good evening. A truck driver has survived a crash with a train just north of Sudbury.
Regional police are still searching through the wreckage to piece together what happened. Rescue crews were called during the noon hour, and what they found was a mangled tractor trailer embedded in the front of a freight train. The driver trapped inside. Police say the truck was dragged just over a kilometer after the initial impact. The unidentified driver talked with rescuers as they worked to free him. He was then taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
There was another fellow here, a first aider, I believe, who was with the person in the truck, and I just came over to make sure that he wasn't badly hurt in that, and just apply pressure on some of his wounds, and kept talking to him to keep him calm.
Meantime, the cause of a fatal Via Rail crash in Saskatchewan this morning remains a mystery. One person was killed when a passenger train jumped the tracks. Another 66 were hurt, some of them children. CN Rail says the track near the point of derailment passed a routine inspection yesterday. Many of those on board the Vancouver to Toronto train are visitors to Canada and were sleeping at the time.
A nation plunged into grief continues mourning the loss of its storybook princess. And today, Buckingham Palace announced Princess Diana will take a longer journey to her final resting place. The overwhelming crush of mourners expected for the funeral has prompted British officials to lengthen the procession route. Bayton's Tom Clark is in London tonight.
The mourning goes on and on and on. Kensington Palace, the home of Princess Diana, is today a shrine overwhelmed. By the thousands, the tens of thousands, people are coming to London. At St. James's Palace, the line to sign the Book of Condolence is now 11 hours long and growing. Police now think that more than 2 million people, possibly 3 million, will be lining the funeral route 100 deep. So the government has bowed to the inevitable, and the funeral route is now doubled in length.
I think it's important that there is a longer route, just so that we have, as I say, as many people able to participate and share and feel part of what is going to be a huge event and commemoration, not just for us here in Britain, but for people throughout the world.
And it is likely that the world will see the two young princes, William and Harry, walking the route directly behind the casket. Alongside them, their father, Prince Charles. Police are still resisting this idea because of security concerns, but it is what the princes want, and what they say their mother would have wanted. The royal family has been conspicuous by its absence from London. They are all in Scotland. But a spokesman said the family needs to be together now and has been deeply touched by the public grief.
All the royal family, particularly the Prince of Wales and Prince Harry and Prince William, have been taking strength from this overwhelming public support.
Say farewell to Diana.
In churches throughout the country, memorial services have already started. Candles are being lit and emotions torn. Westminster Abbey is being prepared. Opera star Luciano Pavarotti has declined to sing. He says he is just too devastated. There are reports, however, that Elton John will sing one song, Your Song, his most famous, and dedicated to Diana.
This one's for you.
Flowers from a princess. 7-year-old Jamie Lloyd has leukemia, and just last week she received these, and a note from Diana.
I hope that you and your family
will be able to come and see me very soon. But until then, lots of love from Diana.
Jamie will never have tea with her princess, but she knows where she is.
There's an angel. I'm sure she'll make a lovely one.
In London, I'm Tom Clark.